Between February 2023 to September 2023, I received a total of 9 envelopes labeled Hope, my concurrent position on DepEd during that time. These envelopes were handed to me mostly by Assistant Secretary Sunshine Fajarda, which she says came directly from Vice President Duterte. The only thing I could say is I wasn't comfortable with it.
Hindi po ba kayo nagtataka? Kayo po yung head ng Hope, ng procuring entity, tapos may natatanggap po kayo na buwan ng 50,000?
As I mentioned, it is uncomfortable, and that's precisely the reason why I wasn't opening it at all. I was just putting it in one pouch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The Chair would like to call on Yusek Gloria Humamil Mercado.
Ms. Gloria Mamil Mercado, please stand up and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this committee?
I will.
So, to help you God. Thank you, Your Honor. The oath has been administered.
Okay, I understand, ma'am, Yusek, that you have a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before I start, I just want to say that this is a very difficult thing to do, and I apologize to my children who didn't like me to join this this session, and also my colleagues who are my friends, but I have to read my statement. My name is Gloria Humamil Mercado, and I have dedicated over 40 years to public service in the government of the Philippines. In my last year with government, I served as the Undersecretary for Human Resource and Organizational Development of the Department of Education. I was appointed as DepEd Undersecretary by President Marcos, as recommended by Vice President Sara Duterte in 2022, and I assumed office in August of 2022 and February 2022. In February 2023, I was designated as the head of the procuring entity of DepEd. As one of the signatories of DepEd's checking account, alongside Undersecretary for Finance, Annalyn Sevilla, I signed checks related to all funds, and recall that some of the checks that I signed amounted to 37,500,000 pesos. Between February 2023 to September 2023, I received a total of 9 envelopes labeled Hope, my concurrent position on DepEd during that time. These envelopes were handed to me mostly by Assistant Secretary Sunshine Fajarda, which she says came directly from Vice President Duterte. Sometimes in October 2023, as the likelihood of a bidding failure for DepEd computerization have become apparent, I was approached by Attorney Monsayak, and he suggested, in the presence of other officials who was with me, that the bidders should just discuss among themselves. Mag-usap-usap na lang para hindi masayang yung pera ng 2023. I firmly asserted that the procurement must be implemented and conducted in strict adherence with the rules. Sometimes in the 3rd or 4th week of October, I was summoned by Zuleika Lopez, the Chief of Staff of the Vice President and Undersecretary of the OBP. I was informed that I should tender my resignation effective that day. I refused to resign, and I insisted on departing from service through voluntary retirement. The timing of my meeting with Ms. Zuleika struck me as more than coincidental. It gave me the impression that my candid responses was the real reason behind the push to relieve me of my office. It was as if I had become an unwelcome obstacle, despite simply doing my job as Hope and Undersecretary of Human Resource of DepEd. Prior to my meeting with Ms. Zuleika, there were other undersecretaries and assistant secretaries who were summoned also, and were also summoned, all of the same purpose of informing them that they should tender their resignation effective on the same day. I signed my affidavit.
Thank you po, ma'am, sa inyong statement. Sabi po ninyo dito kanina, sa inyong number 2 affidavit, I was appointed as DepEd Undersecretary by President Ferdinand Romualdez as recommended by Vice President Sara Duterte in 2022. Bakit po paano po ninyo nakilala si VP Sara? At bakit kayo po ang napili niya na irekomenda bilang Undersecretary ng DepEd?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chair. We actually went through a selection process. There was an advertisement by the CES board that the Department of Education is going to recruit undersecretaries, assistant secretaries. So we saw that ad. I was currently working with the Office of the Presidential Advisor for streamlining government processes. And so we applied, we were interviewed, and then we received communication that we passed the interview and the process, the selection process, and that we are to assume at a specific date.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin po, prior to your appointment as Undersecretary, hindi pa po nyo kilala si Vice President Sara Duterte. Tama po ba?
Kilala naman po,
kilala
Your
na po
Honor,
ninyo.
kasi she studied at the Development Academy of the Philippines where I
Okay.
was the dean and the senior vice president. She was our graduate student.
So, din po kayo sa DAP.
Yes po, sir.
Ano
Your Honor.
pong course ang kung saan po kayo din?
Sir, it's just one.
So yung buong DAP kayo po yung ano?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Development
It's
Academy,
the
tama
Graduate
po ba?
School of Public and Development Management.
Okay. So, dito po ninyo nakilala si VP Sara.
Yes po. Yes, Your Honor. And
Okay.
I was actually her advisor of her thesis for her master's degree.
Okay. So yung recommendation po niya, kayo po ay naging Undersecretary for Human Resources and Organizational Development. Tama po ba?
Yes, yes, Chair.
Okay. So ilan po ba ang USEC ng DepEd?
We were 9 po.
Siya po ninyo, tama po ba?
Ang trabaho ko po, Mr. Chair, is human resource. Then I have the National Educators Academy of the Philippines and the Teachers Excellence Council.
Tama po.
There's 1.1
So in short
billion.
po, yung trabaho ninyo has nothing to do with procurement.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Mr.
So ang
Chair.
tanong ko po, bakit po kayo ang naging head ng procuring entity? Bakit kayo po ang napili?
I think it's a trust.
It's a trust. Dito sa 37,000, ilang 37,500,000 pong cheque ang napirmahan po ninyo? Habang hope po kayo.
Mr. Chair, I'm not very sure if it's 2 or 3.
Okay.
It should be around that.
2 or 3. So more or less, mga nasa 54 million ang napirmahan po ninyo. Tama po?
Yeah, but separate checks.
Apo, dalawang check na worth 37 times 74. Apo. Now, sabi po ninyo sa paragraph 4, between February 2023 to September 2023, I received a total of 9 envelopes labeled Hope. My current position in DepEd during that time.
Concurrent.
Ano po? Tama po ba?
Concurrent position.
Yes.
Your Honor.
So tama po ba itong sinabi ninyo?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr.
Ano po yung laman nitong siyam na envelope na to?
It's 50,000 pesos.
50,000. So 50,000 times 9. So for 9 months, ilang buwan po kayong naging Hope? 9 months?
May I explain that?
Yes, please.
I've been receiving that envelope, but I never opened it while I was at DepEd. Some of my friends, when I left, they saw that those envelopes still intact, not opened. So I actually didn't know how much money there was in each of the envelope.
But how did you know na pera po ang
When I
laman nun?
retired already, I was asking for an exit call so I could
You were
return
asking for?
an exit call when I was leaving already DepEd because I wanted to return those envelopes,
Okay.
but I wasn't able to have that exit call. I wasn't able to return, but so I sought some advice, and they just advised me to donate it to a non-government organization, which I did. And that's the only time that I opened those envelopes in front of the people that I was donating it. And it was 50,000 per envelope.
So 50,000 times 9,
It's 450 po. And
450.
They issued me a receipt for that 450.
Okay. Sino po nag-issue ng receipt?
Yung the one who, it's an
The one
an NGO that I
Okay,
donated
so yung
the money.
pinag-donate po ninyo.
Yes.
Do you have that receipt?
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Your-
Can we
yes,
have a
Mr.
copy
Chair.
of the receipt,
Yes,
ma'am?
Mr. Chair.
Thank you po. So, buwan-buwan po, nakakatanggap po kayo ng 50,000 at sinasabi po netong si Assistant Secretary Sunshine Fajarda. Sabi po ninyo sa kanya, itong envelope na to ay galing po from the Office of Vice President Sara Duterte o galing kay BP. So, ano po ba ang trabaho nito ni Assistant Secretary Sunshine Fajarda?
She used to be the head executive assistant.
Heya.
And then, yes, and then she became an assistant secretary.
Okay.
If you're the Heya, you're usually the one who has trust and confidence from the
Yes,
president.
trust and confidence. So, ano po ba yung mga trabaho kadalasan ng HEA?
It's really doing the
Parang chief of staff din po yan
Yes.
Tama po ba? So, pag dumating na si HEA at may sinabi pong instruction sa inyo, parang ang kausap na rin po ninyo yung boss. Tama po ba?
yes,
So,
Mr.
okay.
Chair.
So,
Yes, Chair.
by the way, ito po bang opisina po niya? Gaano po ito kalayo sa opisina ni BP Sara?
The same
Same office. So, ibig sabihin, isang opisina lang po silang dalawa. Okay. Okay. So, yun po hindi naman normal. Kasi normally talaga, ang boss ng ASEC, yung USEC. Tama po ba? Okay. So, the fact na kayo po ay pinatatawag ng ASEC, ibig sabihin po talaga, talagang very close. At talagang parang very close siya sa secretary. Tama po ba? Parang alter ego po siya. Okay.
In connection lang po, ma'am, doon sa tanong ni Chair. Tanong ko lang po, ma'am, nung naramdaman niyo po na may nag-aabot po sa inyo ng sobre, buwan-buwan, ano po ang pakiramdam niyo? Bakit hindi niyo po binuksan?
I must admit that I was uncomfortable with those envelopes, but parang ang hirap din kasi I'm not sure if others are receiving. Parang ang hirap din I didn't know if others are receiving. I cannot say. So ang ginawa ko na lang is I had this pouch that iniiwan ko lang sa office. Nilalagay ko lang doon yung mga binibigay sa akin na pera.
Sa pakiramdam po ninyo, para po saan yun?
Ang feeling ko is she has naman resources to give to she has probably personal resources that she can share to her people, and I'm not really, ayoko mag-speculate, but the only thing I could say is I wasn't comfortable with it.
Hindi po ba kayo nagtataka? Kayo po yung head ng HOPE, ng procuring entity, tapos may natatanggap po kayo na buwan ng 50,000?
As I mentioned, it is uncomfortable, and that's precisely the reason why I wasn't opening it at all. I was just putting it in one pouch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.